I'm here this morning with Governor Dan Patrick. Thank you so much for giving me your time this morning. As we were just chatting before we kind of started, you were saying that you were actually in San Angelo back in 1980.
I was a sportscaster with the CBS affiliate in Houston, Texas. And back then, the Houston Oilers had their summer camp here.
They did.
TI, the Peanut Airline, used to fly into San Angelo. So the last time I was here was 1980.
Welcome back.
It's great to be back. And I went to Zettner Daughter's restaurant in 1980, and I went last night. And the food was still good, and the onion rings are still piled this high. It's great food. And Kat, you know what, we were talking about how the Lord has opened up doors for you and given you direction. When I was here in 1980, if you would have said to me, the next time you come back will be 35 years from now, and you're going to be the Lieutenant Governor of Texas, I would have thought, how can that happen? I'm not even thinking about politics. I'm thinking about my television career.
Sure.
Usually television and media takes you all over the country. Would I even be in Texas in 35 years? So it's pretty interesting for me when I rolled into town and think how God has redirected my path as He's redirected yours and many of your followers.
Yeah, absolutely. It's exciting then when it's His journey you're on and not our own.
Right.
For sure. I got a couple of things, particular things I want to ask, and then I'd like to get to touch on, if we have time, quickly your thoughts on 84th session and 85. But we've got some we're in a challenging time right now.
As Christians, we're in a very challenging time.
Correctly said. Absolutely. One of the things we have going on here is sanctuary cities. I understand we have 13 in Texas.
Yes.
What's your stance on sanctuary cities?
I was in the Senate for 8 years before becoming Lieutenant Governor, and I carried the sanctuary city bill to ban them. And we had a rule in the Senate, you had to have 21 votes to bring a bill to the floor. We've never had more than 20 Republicans, so the Democrats could block a bill. They had veto power in essence. This year, part of my campaign was we would change that rule. I wish Washington would do the same thing and have, if you're the majority party, you need to lead as the majority party. Work with the other side, but you need to lead. So we changed the rule to 19 senators that's 3/5 instead of 2/3, which I thought was a high enough bar to bring a bill to the floor. Because there are 6,000 bills filed. You can't bring every bill to the floor. And so it takes 19 votes. Well, we have 20 Republicans. So that means that if you're a Republican, if you get 18 other Republicans to agree with you, you can bring a bill to the floor. So of the 22 priorities we had this session, based on the campaign, we passed 20 of them. But the one of two bills that didn't pass with the Republican majority was sanctuary cities, to ban the cities. I actually had 18 Republicans, but I couldn't get the 19th vote.
What can we do, or do you think the coming session will be more positive?
It's changed. First of all, one of the Republicans who was not in support of banning sanctuary cities is not coming back. And I believe the person who will take his place is supportive. Secondly, the other senator who was not in favor has given me his pledge. So we'll pass it as one of our very first bills. Here's the issue of sanctuary cities and why I carry the bill as a senator for several sessions. Sanctuary cities is no more than demanding that mayors and city councils follow federal law and not pass legislation or ordinances or by rulemaking tell the police that they can't follow federal law. It's really that simple. And not having our cities create magnets to bring people here illegally. Let's be very clear.
That's true. Greg
Abbott and I received the highest level of Hispanic support in the history of any Republican, to my knowledge, in the country.
Yes.
We received about 46% of the Hispanic vote in Texas. The high water mark was 40% with George Bush when he was governor. And both Greg Abbott and myself ran on a campaign of key issues that the Hispanic voters supported, including border security. It's a law and order issue.
Yeah.
We need to find a way for people who want to come here and be part of America and help us grow, that they can come here legally. And that's Washington's job. Texas can't do that by Supreme Court order. But we can address public safety, and public safety is key.
Yes.
From 2008 to 2012, in Texas, Kat, we arrested 147,000 people that we identified in our jails in 254 counties that we identified as being here illegally, and we charged them with 447,000 crimes, including about 2,000 murders and 3,000 rapes. Those are all verifiable statistics. the reason we need a secure border and the reason we have to ban sanctuary cities from attracting people to come here and not allowing police to do their job is it's the criminal element.
That's right.
And potential terrorists. So that will be one of the first bills we pass in the next session.
Excellent. Is Texas on the radar to receive any of the Syrian refugees that you've heard of?
We're always on the radar to be punished by the Obama administration, quite frankly. And I don't mean that in a partisan way. That's just true. If you look at the EPA, if you look at other regulations that Obama has and his administration has put on Texas, we will likely, we don't have those official numbers yet. I'm the Lieutenant Governor of Texas, not of the United States, but if I were in a larger role, which I have no interest in being, by the way, but if I were in that role, I would not be allowing people to come here when we don't know who they are and that there's a high possibility that some could potentially be terrorists. Obviously, there are a lot of people suffering, but this is a different crisis.
It truly is.
It's a great concern to me. And I just saw yesterday, John Kerry, our Secretary of State, says we're going to bring in 100,000 more next year. Yeah. And we're not screening them properly. We don't know who they are. No. The number one job, Kat, this is why sanctuary cities are important. This is why secure borders are important. The number one job of an elected official is to protect your life.
That's right.
And your property.
That's right.
Nothing else matters if you lose your life. And so I don't think people in Washington have done a very good job of that.
A couple other things real quick. Planned Parenthood,
yes.
Big news. Are any of the Texas taxpayers' dollars going to fund?
No, we banned, and I was happy to lead on that as well as many members. The Republicans in the legislature have taken the dollars out of Planned Parenthood. I passed the sonogram bill back in 2011. I was the author of that and wrote that bill back to 2007. It took a while to get it passed. That allows every woman who goes to get an abortion the choice to see the sonogram because Planned Parenthood was not giving them that choice. And since then, we've seen abortions go down about 12 or 15,000 per year in Texas.
That's wonderful.
Because sadly, Texas led the nation in abortions, about 80,000 a year. But in the Planned Parenthood funding, we have defunded, as many states have, and the federal government should. I don't even know why the Republicans are arguing over at D.C. You're the majority party, go get it done, like we do here in Texas. The second issue is because of these videos, my home is in Cypress, Texas, outside of Houston. In Harris County, we have one of the largest Planned Parenthood facilities in the world. We have seen the undercover videos from that facility. And so I immediately asked our local DA, Devin Anderson, to begin a criminal investigation. This was last month when those videos came out. Good. And she has begun, with support of other law enforcement agencies as well as her own investigators, to see if any laws were broken, actually look at the facts. And I can tell you this, if they were selling baby parts, which I have no reason to believe they have not been based on the videos and the evidence, and if we don't have the laws in America and the laws in Texas to make sure there's severe punishment for doing that, then we'll pass those laws. Good. So we have to find out what the facts are and then what the punishment level is.
Yeah, absolutely. Another hot issue has been same-sex marriage licenses.
It's been a busy summer for me.
Yeah. Kim Davis up in Kentucky has been the one that's been getting all of the attention. It appears possibly that the Supreme Court may have legislated from the bench there. Texas
I don't think it's possible. I think they clearly did. Even the dissenting opinion, John Roberts, said this issue is going to come back to us.
Yeah. Our state constitution says marriage is between one man and one woman. Now, what should Texas do at this point when we've got two different ideas?
Like so many Christians and just Americans, we don't think the Supreme Court should have ruled on this issue. It's not the Constitution. The Constitution is clear. Those rights specifically not granted to the federal government or state rights. The Supreme Court, as John Roberts said, the 5 lawyers, he's talking about the 5 who issued the opinion, they did legislate from the bench in my view. And we in Texas surely don't agree with it, the majority of us, and surely the Republicans and Christians. We're not hateful towards people, but we just don't support marriage between a man and a man or a woman and a woman. And we shouldn't have to apologize for our religious beliefs on that issue. However, the Supreme Court is the law of the land. And that is the law we have to follow, whether we like it or not. Look, I'm pro-life, and I want to overturn Roe v. Wade one day. And we've done a really good job to chip away
Yes.
and cut down abortions. On this, we're going to have to chip away until we have a new president who may select new Supreme Court members. And let me tell you something, Kat. We're going through this long primary process right now. The voters need to know that the most important issue, besides protecting us from terrorism for the next president, is the potential over 8 years of selecting 3 or 4 Supreme Court justices, and who they will be, and will they be those who will reverse this decision. Supreme Court decisions can reverse. The Dred Scott decision was reversed. The Supreme Court is not the supreme ruler. God is our supreme voice, not the Supreme Court. These are men and women who are capable of making errors in judgment or their own political bias. And so that's where we are. In the Texas Senate, the one thing that we did was pass, and I believe it was Senate Bill 1065, the Pastor Protection Bill. And the Pastor Protection Bill says if you're affiliated with a church, you do not have to perform a same-sex wedding. And some people say, well, you don't need that. The First Amendment guarantees the pastor's religious liberties. Really? I have no assurance that the Supreme Court won't tell a pastor of a church they have to perform a same-sex wedding. Because, Kat, what is the difference? And we always hear about the bakers and the wedding planners and the caterers. Why is a person who becomes a pastor, why is their religious liberty viewed at a higher level than just an average citizen who's not a pastor?
Very good point.
And so, and we all understand, I think most people understand, if you own a bakery, you can't deny anyone service who comes into your bakery and wants to buy something. We all understand that. You can't pick and choose your customers. But are you compelled, should you be compelled, to participate in an event away from your business that you don't want to be participating in? Whether it's a same-sex wedding that you say, look, that's against my religious beliefs. Right. I can sell you the products if you want, but I'm not coming to participate. Don't put me in that situation. And it could be a number of situations they don't want to be in. I'm not going to make comparisons, but there may be a lot of things that you just say, I don't want to be at that event, whatever that event may be. I know our time is limited, so I won't go into all those details, but we need a religious liberty bill in the United States and in Texas that clearly says if these are your religious beliefs, and you don't need to prove it to anyone, because the Bible says we don't judge people. So when people say they're a Christian, I take them on face value. It's not my position to judge, lest I will be judged. The Bible is very clear.
Yes.
So if people say this is against my religious liberty, I believe them. And they should be protected as well.
I agree. We're totally out of time.
Okay.
We're going to have to do this again because there are so many more things I'd love to visit with you about, and especially the upcoming legislative session and some of the key things that you're looking forward to doing.
If we have 1 minute left before your film runs out, let me talk about a project that people can look at, and that is the heartoftexasfoundation.org. Heartoftexasfoundation.org.
All right. I'll put that on the screen.
Okay. On a bipartisan effort, John Whitmire, Democrat, and myself started the first seminary in a Texas prison in the history of our state about 4 to 5 years ago. No tax dollars involved. So it's all privately raised money, so no, the ACLU can't go after us. This year we graduated our first class of prison inmate pastors, all serving pretty much 10, 15, and 20-year sentences. So this is not a get-out-of-jail-free card.
Sure.
This is to minister in prisons. We copied there's only one prison in America, Angola Prison in Louisiana. They've graduated 400 pastors over 16 years and going from the most violent prison to the least violent.
I saw a report on that.
Yes. And so we started that, and so
Wonderful.
We had our first class. We have another 180 men coming up, and we had a graduation class May 9th. So we have 150,000 people roughly in 100 plus prisons in Texas. Wow. We need to change the culture of the prison.
Perfect.
By changing the character of the men, and you change the character of men by changing their heart, and only Jesus can change their heart. And so I'm real proud of that project. We also, the heartoftexasfoundation.org, you can also order a movie. The dollars don't come to me, it goes to help the organization called The Heart of Texas, which I made, which was a Christian film in 2009, which won Best Film Made in Texas. It's a true story about Texas, and so I encourage people to, if you go to heartoftexasfoundation.org, you can learn about the prison seminary project and also order a copy of the movie, which helps the project, and it will lift your spirits. It's a wonderful story. And so the Lord has blessed me so much in my life. I campaigned around the state for a year and a half with this message. I'm a Christian first, a conservative second, and a Republican third. And the time that our party no longer stands on the Word of God and the principles of Reagan, I'm going to become an independent. But in Texas, I don't think we have to worry about that.
That's true. What a perfect way to end our time together. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.